Hey guys, it's Ryan with Big Dog Investing. Thank you guys for tuning into my channel. If you guys could do a couple of things for me, if you guys can go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you guys have not done so already. Click the bell notification down below so that YouTube can send you guys notifications whenever I release videos. Watch my videos all the way to the end. And if you guys can share my channel with anyone, I'm trying to grow my channel as much as I can, and I definitely need your guys' help in doing so. Getting into the daily market up today. Today is Thursday, January 19th. The total market cap for all cryptocurrencies on CoinMarketCap is $981 billion. This is a 1.44% increase on the day. In my best opinion, the reason why the crypto market had a nice rebound was because the Department of Justice, along with the Treasury, ended up coming out with a FUD statement saying that they were going to release a statement yesterday, and then in a couple of hours that had to deal with regulations and international enforcement, and then they came out and just said that they arrested some guy who was defrauding with using cryptocurrency and sending illicit funds to different places. Now, this is great news because the Department of Justice should definitely take action against people who would use cryptocurrency or any type of financial markets to manipulate money or send money illegally and anything along those lines. And those people definitely deserve to be prosecuted. But to come out with a statement and say, hey, we're going to come out with a statement in 2 hours or in 3 hours or whatever, just come out with a statement. Don't leave the uncertainty into the market, because they had a lot of investors freak out and pull money from the cryptocurrency market because they didn't understand what was going on, and no one did. So that's why I think that the cryptocurrency market had a nice rebound today. Bitcoin now is again trading over 21,000. The price for each Bitcoin right now is $21,107. Ethereum is trading at $1,555, and XRP is trading at 39.15 cents. So overall, the crypto market has a nice gains today. We're still, only up a little bit, but we'll take any green days as we can. Getting into our crypto bubbles. All cryptos mainly are green today. We have a couple outliers like Solana and Kava. In my opinion, Kava is down because it had a nice run up yesterday. But the biggest gainers on today are FTT. It's up 25.9%. I still don't understand why people are still investing in this. There's some news that came out today, and that's probably part of the reason why people are in high hopes of FTT and the token on the FTX exchange. But this is one, again, that I will definitely stick clear with. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but if I were in your guys' shoes, I would not invest any money into this. FXS is up 18.1%. Engine right here, ENG, is up 16.3%. Nexo is up 13%. HBAR is up 9.5%. I was pretty happy to see HBAR going up. I do love HBAR. And if you guys watched my video of my top 10 cryptocurrencies, HBAR was definitely on that list. The reason why the FTT token went up today was there was a new FTX chief who came out and says that the crypto exchange could restart. So he testified in front of Congress. And during his testimony, he basically said that he understands that FTX lost a bunch of people's money. He says it was a little over $7 billion, and most of it was international money, and he knows that they're never going to get that money, all of it back. But he has hopes to getting at least the U.S. money back, and so people are like, you know what, we can trust this exchange again. But for me, once you guys already just destroyed consumer confidence, don't go back to it. There's that saying like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Do not get caught in this FTX scandal. Don't try to get involved in this token. It's going to be a big headache for you guys if this exchange officially ends up going down. Getting into Watcher Guru, he came out and posted a few things today. Crypto.com says global crypto holders increased by 39% to 425 million in 2022. So more people are adopting cryptocurrency as more people start to understand it. It's going to be widely adopted worldwide, and it's going to become second nature to most people. I, again, don't see this happening for at least the next 10 years. Where the majority of people in the world will be using cryptocurrency. We're still in the early stages. So it's, in my opinion, again, not a financial advisor, but this is a good time to get into cryptocurrency. The U.S. national debt reaches an all-time high of 31.41 trillion. If you guys watched my video yesterday, I talked about how the press secretary basically was talking about how they needed to have a bipartisan, Republican and Democrats come into agreement, with no stipulations no agreements being made other than just figuring out the debt ceiling. And this is kind of crazy news that this is the all-time high, $31.41 trillion. So it's going to be crazy to see what happens with the United States money and the debt ceiling in the coming days. Um, Moving on a little bit, Sam Bankman-Fried, the SEC just officially charges Sam Bankman-Fried with defrauding FTX investors. I'm going to go ahead and post these articles in the comments. So if you guys would like to read these articles, they're really great reads. But it's just crazy, that FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried officially just get charged. Ripple's been in an ongoing lawsuit. And finally, after months and months and months of this guy and everyone knowing that he defrauded investors, now he officially gets charged. Jeremy Hogan thought that this was kind of funny today because the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission also came out and charged Nexo Capital Incorporated with failing to register the offer and sale of its retail crypto asset lending product, the Earned Interest Product, which is EIP for short. To settle charges, Nexo agreed to pay $22.5 million and seize its unregistered offer and sale of the EIP to U.S. investors. So Jeremy Hogan ended up coming out and saying that the SEC charges Nexo in its lending product and settles with them on the same day, a $45 million collection. But isn't Nexo an exchange? What about the numerous securities that Nexo is unlawfully selling to U.S. citizens? That's okay now? I'm confused. And he's talking about how Gary Gensler ended up coming out and saying that the majority of cryptocurrencies are going to be considered securities. He comes out and sues the SEC. Gary Gensler is the head, sues one of these exchanges, Nexo, and doesn't talk about how they're selling unregistered securities, only that their token that was used for their earned interest product was considered a security. So it's funny to see. John Deaton had to chime in too. He says no yield for U.S. investors, not until it's a product offered by Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan, etc. So he's talking about how all these big banks, once they start getting involved and using their money and having their pockets deep inside before the big booms, then it'll officially be called a product. So, I do definitely agree with John Deaton on this statement. These big banks are definitely suppressing a lot of this. They don't want to see this adoption because Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, all these big banks are going to lose a bunch of money because they make money off of investing consumer funds. But they're backed by the federal government. If for whatever reason you lose money or the banks lose money by investing it, all that money is basically protected because the federal government will bail them out. But consumers do not have that protection yet. This guy, Charles Gasparino, I've talked about him a couple of times. He's still turning around. I'm still, again, not a huge fan of this guy. Basically, didn't know what he was talking about, came out, started attacking Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, the XRP token, and mainly XRP holders like myself, basically saying that we didn't know what we were talking about with this lawsuit between the SEC and Ripple, and that basically all the charges, until they're proven in the court of law, Ripple's essentially guilty. But, that's what our society is now. It's guilty until proven innocent, not the way that it's supposed to be, innocent until proven guilty. So it's, again, nice to see this guy come around. But he came out and say that I hate to make everything about Ripple versus the SEC, but how would registering FTT or the Sam coins prevented what looks like a simple case of market manipulation via an exchange and affiliated hedge fund? Again, SEC failed to prioritize its crypto regulatory. So basically he's coming out and saying that it's funny that basically FTX exchange had this FTT token known as basically Sam coins, is what he did it because Sam Bankman-Fried was the owner CEO of the FTX exchange. This exchange is the one that was the big issue, not the FTT token. But we're not regulating exchanges. Exchanges are able to run as free as they want to, but the tokens themselves are the ones that are being considered securities. So it's nice to see this guy still come around. He's grown on me a little bit, but again, I still don't like him because immediately he just started attacking XRP holders. I'm going to go ahead and post these videos. Digital Asset Investor had a great thing. He ended up coming out and having the Brad Garlinghouse interview broken down. So like this like thing is like 40 minutes long normally, but he cut out all the parts where basically people were asking Brad Garlinghouse and the panel was asking Brad Garlinghouse questions about XRP, Ripple, the company, and regulatory clarity. In my opinion, this video was very interesting. But it was kind of crazy to watch. And if you guys do watch this video with the link that I post, it's funny that a lot of this, and mainly the speaker of this panel, basically attacks Brad Garlinghouse a couple of times and basically tries to throw jabs. See if you guys can pick that up and let me know in the comments if you guys see that. And then I posted a highlight of this video with the Davos fireside chat with Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. These are the highlights. Again, digital asset investor, thank you for this video. I'm going to post your link in my comment so the community can watch these videos. Um, this is another one. I already talked about this one. Getting into the very end of what we're going to talk about, the new World Economic Forum's new global collection village is on board with the metaverse, and it can be trusted because Interpol is on board, says Klaus Schwab. So basically, he's coming out and saying that the metaverse is here to stay. The technology is great, and you guys can trust it because World Economic Forum and Interpol are on board with this. These leaders basically come out and say, hey, we trust you guys. This is great, for the community. But, who are these people at the World Economic Forum? They basically are a collective group. Basically, I think Elon Musk ended up posting a comment underneath one of these videos. Yeah, it's right here. World Economic Forum is increasingly becoming an unelected world government that people never asked for and don't want. So you basically have all of the superpowers, all of the money manipulators in the markets, all of your super rich, your top 1% of the 1% are at these meetings and basically coming up with ideas that are best for society. Yet there are all the super rich elite who live in these mansions, have multiple mansions, multiple yachts, ride in their private jets everywhere that they go, but they know what it's like to be an average citizen in the world, wherever you guys are at. But especially here in the United States, it's funny to see that these people at the World Economic Forum are like, believe me, guys, trust us. We know what we're doing. I wouldn't trust anyone at this World Economic Forum. I know a lot of super elites are there, even including Brad Garlinghouse. He could be essentially part of the issue. But I do trust his company Ripple, and I do trust the coin, and it's going to actually solve real world problems, and it's going to actually be beneficial for the consumer. So you guys got to look into these projects, do your guys' own independent research. And getting into the last bit of news, and I wanted to save this one for the last because James K. Filan finally briefed us on the last part. So for the scheduling updates of January 19th, 2023, which is today, the scheduling update for the SEC versus Ripple Labs, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson on January 19th, 2023. Everything has been briefed. Now we wait patiently. So basically, everything is out. There's nothing more that can be done or filed according to what James K. Filan said. We just have to wait and see what Judge Torres has to say about the case. Brad Garlinghouse ended up coming out and talking about in the World Economic Forum that he can basically see this year officially as the year that the case eventually gets settled in court, whether that's through coming to some sort of plea agreement. But the only way that can happen, according to Brad Garlinghouse, is if Ripple and the XRP token are not considered a security. And I do see not a plea deal happening. I do see this go all the way. But that's just my personal take on it. But he said that, maybe even in the first half of 2023. So, there's a lot of people that speculate. I'm speculate too. Everyone does, especially if you're invested in XRP. You have been since the lawsuits first started. And even before that, like myself. So it's going to be crazy and interesting to see. And basically, all I'm going to do is sit back in the recliner, lift up the legs on the recliner, and just wait. It's all you can do. Grab a nice drink and enjoy the time while you're here. So, again, if you guys can't invest with a big dog, stay on the porch. Have a good rest of your guys' night.